there, good evening and welcome to the broadcast. We are coming to you live from Kenya's capital city, Nairobi. Quite a chilly evening, isn't it? But don't worry, we've got you covered with the latest making headlines across the country. Here are the day's top stories. Now you see me, now you don't. Businesswoman Anne Njoroge reappears at court in Mombasa, accuses DCI of capture. Petition filed in court to halt government increase of marriage certificates, national IDs and passport charges. Deadline for e-citizen registration of government institutions earmarked for My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Our SMS line is open to 33059. Watch us on Facebook and on YouTube on EBN TV. EBN Prime Edition kicks off right now. Anne Njoroge, the businesswoman who was said to have disappeared after recording a statement with the DCI in Nairobi, appeared at the High Court in Mombasa on Tuesday. Njeri showed up in court in the company of her lawyer Cliff Ombeta. Now, the controversy over the ownership of some 100,000 metric tons of diesel that have been claimed by two companies have led to the confusion of who is the real owner of the 17 billion shillings worth of diesel. Dennis Toromo kicks off the bulletin with that report.
Businesswoman Anne Njoroge, who had been reported missing after appearing for an interrogation at the Directorate of Criminal Investigation DCI, appeared before a Mombasa court on Tuesday, accompanied by her lawyer Cliff Ombeta.
Niliambiwa twende ofisi nyingine tuandikishe statement nyingine, lakini kushuka chini nilipata si ofisi, ni huyo alikuwa anaitwa Karaja na huyo mwingine Yuri, ni Yuris jina ya Kikamba, ambayo waliniambia ya kwamba kama kuna dawa yoyote ninatumia, kama nimekunywa dawa siku hiyo, nikauliza bona.
The businesswoman, who had been linked to a whopping 17 billion Kenya shilling oil import, had been reported missing with her phone switched off and police officers saying she was not in the custody.
Na hapo ndo alianza kupatiwa vitisho na kianza kuambiwa leo utakufa kama utaachana na hiyo biashara ya mafuta, kama utaacha hayo mafuta yaende, haya mafuta si yako, kila kitu, vitisho aina zote. Lakini yeye alisimama kabisa akasema mafuta ni yake.
At the heart of the matter is the ownership of some 100,000 metric tons of the diesel that has also been claimed by two companies, Galana Energies Limited and Ramcom. The management of the Kenya Port Authority, who were on Sunday accused of offloading some of the cargo, had come out earlier and accuses Anne of forging documents she used to claim ownership of the consignment. In a press conference addressed by KPA Managing Director Captain William Ruto and Board Chairperson Benjamin Tayari, the management said Galana Energies Limited had the genuine importation of the documents.
Lading yake anasema this is the bill of lading she's saying. Ndio kweli. Bill of lading imesainiwa na shipa, huwa ni yeye. Carrier ni yeye. Sasa you can understand things that cannot add up.
Tunajua ni kwamba hii meli ilikuwa imebeba ule mzigo ambao tumewasomea hapa kwa lugha ya Kimombo, ambao zaidi ya nusu ilikuwa ni ya Armco na nyingine ni ya nchi jirani. Kwa hivyo huo ndio mzigo ulioshikishwa hapo, lakini hayo masuala ya sisi kwa kama KPA hatuna stakabadhi zozote ya kuonyesha kwamba alikuwa ameleta mzigo kama huo.
According to Ms. Njoroge on the media on Tuesday, that officers who took her statement last Thursday informed her that she was being transferred to a different office to record another statement.
Na wanasema kuwa makaratasi yake yalikuwa gushi. Makaratasi gani yalikuwa gushi? Nyinyi mmeona makaratasi yao?
KPA, on the other hand, says the recording in their possession shows the vessel was carrying 93,460 metric tons of the gas oil as opposed to the 100,000 metric tons of the diesel as claimed by Anne Njoroge. The gas oil was loaded between 26 and 28 September at Yanbu Sanfrecce Terminal, after which he departed for another anchorage at Jeddah, when then the ship departed from Mombasa on September 30th. KPA further said that in its record out the manifested 93,490 metric tons of gas oil, 49,091 metric tons was destined to Kenya, with the shipper being Aramco Trading Fujairah, as nominated by the Minister of Energy and Petroleum. The remainder 44,368 metric tons was transit cargo for the neighboring countries including Uganda, Southern Sudan and DRC Congo.
I'm aware a lady called Ann came to my office, ameenda huko kwa port akasema meli ni yake. Hiyo meli ilifika kitambo, brought in by a company called Kalana, and it has been discharged. So we will work to cooperate tujue ukweli iko wapi. So
Toromo Dennis, EBN TV, Prime Edition.
Another petition has been filed in court over the increase of passport charges and other government services. Through lawyer Dunstan Omari, Kenyan citizen Frederick Bikeri says there is need to suspend the implementation of the Gazette notice reviewing the charges, as they will result to undue hardships and suffering. He says there was no justifiable reason to escalate the charges and public participation was not adhered to. Justice Lawrence Mugambi directed that the matter be mentioned on November 29th, when the other case filed by the Nakuru-based surgeon Magare Gikenyi will be mentioned. Now, through Gazette notices dated 6th of November 2023, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki caused to be published, or rather published, a review of charges and fees for various government documentations and services, their birth and death certificates, marriage certificates, and passport and work permits.
Last week, the CS for Interior, equally the CS for Lands, issued Gazette notices to the effect that the cost of government services was increased tremendously. A hustler by the name Fred Bikari walked to us and said, this is not what we voted for the Kenya Kwanza government for. Of particular are 7 issues that he instructed us to raise. 1, the criminalization of marriage. Number 2, the question of the ID card moving from 100 shillings to over 2,000 shillings. Every year, more than 2,000 Form 4 leavers leave school and they get IDs. So we are talking of more than 2 million Kenyans every year will not afford to have an ID, and in essence, by 2027, more than 10 million voters will not have registered as new voters. The third issue is the issue of passports. There are no jobs here. The government has said it has no jobs. Kenyans get passport, go out of the country. They have made the cost of a passport beyond reach of a citizen. We have very many issues within that petition. Mothers who are Kenyans who give birth outside this country, bringing that kid to this country, which below where the kid is a citizen, is going to be very expensive.
To State House, where Romanian President Klaus Iohannis has showered Kenya with praises for being politically stable. He spoke at State House on Tuesday, and Iohannis said that Kenya was outstanding in the East African region. The Romanian head of state also commended the President, William Ruto, and Kenya at large for the role they have taken in climate change conversations. He explained that from the consultations held at State House with Ruto, they have both reconfirmed to have discussions on similar topics. Kenya and Romania signed 4 major memorandum of understanding MOUs, and the signing took place at State House. President William Ruto said that together with his counterpart, they took note of the long cordial relationship that exists between Kenya and Romania.
We have taken note of the warm and cordial relations that exist between Kenya and Romania, whose inception in 1968 saw initiation of collaboration in diverse fields. We have in this regard reiterated the imperative to escalate our cooperation across all spheres of mutual interest, including political, social, and cultural and diplomatic domains. During our discussions, we have deliberated on a wide range of subjects across various areas of common interest: trade and investment, environment conservation and climate action, political and diplomatic dialogue, cooperation in ICT, agriculture, and of course, the people-to-people engagement, especially the discussions on peace and security, and the most important component we share of our belief in democracy.
We can do a lot more, and that is why I decided to have this African tour. Starts today naturally and well-deserved in Kenya, here in Nairobi. It is clear that we need a multi-level approach to clarify things better. This is why I insisted we have a Romanian strategy for Africa. This is why I came personally with my team to start very solid measures that are thought on the.
Former nominated Senator Godlivo Omondi has died in a Kisumu hospital. Omondi, who was currently serving as a nominated MCA in the Kakamega County Assembly, passed on at the Aga Khan Hospital. Kakamega County Deputy Governor Ayub Savula, who confirmed her passing on through a statement, said the legislator died after a short illness. She was nominated on an Orange Democratic Movement party ticket, and she served as a senator from 2013 to 2017, representing persons with disabilities. While eulogizing her, Savula said the people of Kakamega have lost a servant of the people.
How much more came into this house? It was in keeping with her fighting spirit. She had been shortchanged in making the list for affirmative action for people living with disabilities. And I remember we started with Senator Harold Kipchumba, but she fought in court and she won and she joined us, and we worked here together successfully for 5 years. When I heard about her passing on yesterday, I was touched, and I want to thank the Speaker for allowing us to celebrate her life.
Godlivo Omondi, being an elected member of parliament on ANC, decided that she was going to support the ODM candidate in that by-election, much to her detriment. In fact, it put her in very serious crosshairs with her own party, ANC. But I remember she took me to every single village within Cholera ward, Madam Speaker, and campaigned with me and with the candidate for ODM, and the results were there for everyone to see. She then, Madam Speaker, ended up again as nominated MCA in the County Assembly of Kakamega, which she served until her untimely demise. I considered the Honorable Godlivo a personal friend because I have worked with her. I have seen her passion in representation of the persons living with disabilities and in her representation of the people of Cholera ward.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has said that he is positive that reforms in the coffee sector will materialize and soon farmers will enjoy the much-deserved returns. Gachagua stated that the government has set aside 4 billion shillings and has prioritized coffee reforms as a strategy to revitalize the sector and increase production.
And I can tell you these things are going to change. This coffee thing, we are going to bring it back to where it was in the 70s and 80s as #1 foreign exchange earner for the country. We as an administration are adamant that these reforms must succeed and they must go on. And that is why the President and I convinced Cabinet to set aside 4 billion shillings to enhance the cherry fund so that we can intervene in this period for the farmer. And I am happy that you have come up with a formula of how now we can intervene in the market. This thing we must win because it used to work then and nothing has changed. The farmers are the same, the soils are the same, the environment is the same. It's only when we liberalized, the private people came and then they shortchanged the farmer. what I want viongozi muambie wakulima watulie tu kidogo. Unajua hakuna kizuri itapatikana rahisi, na hii vita pia ni kali. Unajua watu wamekula watu 30 years, watoa hiyo kitu kwa mdomo watakuuma. It's not easy, but we are determined and we are up to it.
The Council of Governors has urged the national government not to interfere with workings of the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority KEMSA, insisting that the authority must remain independent and accountable to its customers. While speaking as he opened a workshop for players in the medical supplies chain at a Nairobi hotel, the chairman of the Health Committee at the Council of Governors, Muthomi Njuki, noted that there was interference from forces outside the medical supply agency that are calling the shots.
Them, giving money, but we should also give them support by ensuring that we have minimal interference with what happens in KEMSA as a government, by giving them the autonomy to be able to operate. I have said, and I will reaffirm that again, that it is not possible for KEMSA to be autonomous and efficient if they keep on getting instructions from out there in the Council of Governors, in the Ministry of Health, and from any other part of government. If we give them opportunity to supply, let us give them the autonomy they deserve and audit them out of their own efficiency or inefficiency coming from within. KEMSA has been having an issue in terms of the meeting the demand for the counties. The referral rate for drugs is around 60%, which the efficient and normal.
State corporations yet to get on the e-Citizen platform have until December 31st to do so. The Secretary to the Cabinet, Mercy Wanjao, and the head of the Public Service, Felix Kosgei, in a meeting with leaders from agencies, warned leaders against resistance to joining the system that will see all payments for government services channeled through a single system. President William Ruto had issued the decree that all government services payments be paid through a single system, that is through the 22222 pay bill account.
There are quite a number of services we had at the beginning exempted, including some services provided by KRA, some services provided by KEBS, some services provided by KPA, some services provided by Kenya Power, including applications. We had exempted it because of the complications that really come with onboarding of those services, including also services by Hustler Fund. These are some of the exemptions we did at the beginning to give them time to be able to integrate their systems.
And we have had very constructive conversations on the road to compliance. We have had discussions that will enable recognition of unique cases and closure of those cases. Indeed, we will be devoting even more time to understand the businesses that they handle, so that at the end of the day, and hopefully before that deadline, we are able to recognize all services as they should be on the platform.
The Church and the Clergy Association of Kenya, CCAK, has criticized the government for the high cost of living and the high taxation in the country. The association expressed dissatisfaction with the Gazette notice that sets to increase in fees, government services that has been suspended by the court. CCAK chairperson Bishop Hudson Deda noted that increasing the prices of marriage certificates would promote immorality among the youth. They also called upon the president to publicly denounce the LGBTQ agenda in the country.
The fees that is suggested will be charged on people doing a wedding. That will be double taxation, because as a church we buy marriage books at 25,000 from the government so that we can register marriages. And so charging the same people again, the much that was proposed, it is double taxation. And two, it will discourage the young people from getting married in a godly way. And therefore, at the end, then probably that can only encourage LGBTQ and prostitution and other things, which we don't want to see in this.
A non-state organization called Harambee Foundation from Holland has embarked on an ambitious program that aims to enhance infrastructure development in schools within Western Kenya. According to the Chief Executive Officer of Harambee Foundation, Ms. Mary Ann, the program seeks to supplement the government's efforts in enhancing learning across the region. Consolata Chibalonza reports.
Speaking during the commissioning of a 6.5 million Kenyan shillings dormitory that they constructed through partnership with the Hongera Foundation, Kenya, at St. Clair Rangala Girls Boarding Primary School in Ugunja Sub-County, Ms. Mary Ann stated that they discovered that there is a huge gap in terms of infrastructure development in schools, hence the move that they have taken.
We see there is such a need in so many schools here in this area, let's say in Western Kenya, where we have done a lot of projects. And facilities are really very important to make good learning possible here, you know. So, but we feel that it is a joint effort. It is not only us. We are just a helping hand for the community. That is how we feel, you know, that we are helping the community to be a part of the life at school. And we are just one of many stakeholders in the project. It is not only us, but it is also the head teacher, it's the CDF, it is the teachers, it is the students, it is also the DEO. There are many parties who are together responsible for good learning facilities.
The chairman of Hongera Foundation Kenya, Mr. Jacob Omondi, stated that apart from working in collaboration with Harambee Foundation, they have also been working with other stakeholders to uplift education standards. He exuded confidence that through development of schools' infrastructure and capacity building of teachers, they will be able to improve performance across Western Kenya.
Our belief is if we give the school proper infrastructure, both brick and mortar and of course capacity building of teachers, then definitely we are going to uplift the standard of education in our region. So that's our major focus. And of course we partner with various donors from various countries, developed countries, to help us realize this dream. So these are the last project we are doing. We'll do more projects, but our philosophy is no request, no assistance.
Board chairperson of St. Clair Rangala Girls Boarding Primary School, Mrs. Evelyn Otieno, expressed their heartfelt gratitude to the donors, noting that the project will enhance enrollment of more of their pupils to the boarding section, adding that this will improve the teacher-to-pupil contact hours.
This project is going to help our girls improve in their performances. Most of the girls are going to opt for the boarding section, and now they are going to have a good place to sleep where they can sleep and study. We are very grateful to the two foundations, and as a community we cannot take it for granted, because Rangala Girls, St. Clair's Rangala Girls is going to post very good results, as we have always done, because our teachers are always here to teach our students. The parents have entrusted us with the children and have paid their fees. So the only thing that we can give in return is to post very good results the way you have always been doing. Not to forget my fellow BOM members who have been working hand in hand with the head teacher, Sister Ursula Akwiri.
These sentiments have also been echoed by the school's head teacher, Sister Ursula Akelo, who equally expressed her sincere gratitude to the donors.
I would like to say that great appreciation to the Hongera Foundation and Harambee Foundation for partnering together to see to it that our dream come true. This is a great reality. When we realize this dormitory here, it's going to house so many girls from all over the county and even all over the country.
Consolata Chibalonza, EBN TV.
A technical team between the State Department for Correctional Services and that of Housing and Public Works has been set up to work on modalities towards bridging the state of housing for prison warders. Correctional Services Principal Secretary Ms. Salome Muhia Biako said there was a huge deficit of prison warders' staff houses, hence the need to work closely with the two state departments towards affording the prison staff quality housing. Addressing the media at the Eldoret main prison, The PS said there was the ongoing consultation with PS of Housing and Urban Development to see how the huge deficit can be bridged through the President's Affordable Housing Initiative.
Are collaborating with stakeholders and development partners, as well as the ministry, the State Department of Industry, to see how we can scale up the machinery so that we increase production at least tenfold. I am very impressed by the quality of furniture that is being made here, and we want to see how we can do more. With regard to housing, we have also inspected the state of the housing, and we have been informed what the gaps are, and we are looking already. We have set up a technical team that is to work, a technical team between our State Department and the State Department of Housing as well as Public Works, so that we can bridge the deficit. We have a very huge deficit of prison warden staff quarters. We are trying to bridge that, and in the coming days we will resume construction of those houses, and we will complete the ongoing projects with a view to affording our staff quality housing.
In efforts to secure the over 200,000 job opportunities in the global market for students who graduate with different medical-related courses from the Kenya Medical Technical College or Training College, Kangema campus is moving to equip learners who are set to join in January next year with foreign languages, which will place them in a wider global market. KMTC Muranga campus principal Dr. Evelyn Nyamai has noted that students who graduate with foreign languages stand a higher chance of securing job opportunities in or beyond Kenyan borders. Dr. Nyamai has also lauded the Ministry of Health for introducing Spanish, German and French languages to the school curriculum.
Miradi kama hii kuna advantages mingi. Kwanza itafungua market yetu hapa Kangema. Tutaweza kuuza zaidi ya vile tulikuwa tunauza. Pili, wanafunzi wetu watakuja kuishi hata kwa nyumba zetu ambazo tutawajengea waweze kukodisha, apart from zile ambazo watakuwa kiishi kwa institution. So uchumi wa Kangema utaimarika.
They will be going out for job market, and then they are really needed, because we know our graduates from KMTC, they are very marketable, and therefore if we equip them with the languages, it will be very okay. So on Thursday, the CS Minister of Health launched a language curricula for KMTC. One was Germany, another one was Spanish, and the other one was French. Therefore, it is very important that we'll still insist on training these languages for our graduates to be able to work outside. Further, when Kangema opens, the children from this county of Muranga will be able to get training opportunities.
We supplied all the materials that were needed to start off the KMTC. We are provided with all the chairs, the computers, 7 computers, all the stationaries needed, all the office equipments needed. We have already supplied with around 13 million from the NGCDF Kangema. Our students will be targeting a specific job market like Germany, and therefore they will be studying language and studying the German language, because that is the predicament or one of the biggest challenges of the German job market. They want our people to go and work in German.
More than 3,000 trees that were planted on the riparian of Likhi River and the main water source for Nanyuki municipality during the National Tree Planting Day. The exercise, organized by Nanyuki Water and Sanitation Company Nawasco in collaboration with local water resources users associations, saw more than 200 people participate in the planting of indigenous tree species and bamboo. Organizers of the exercise said planting of trees on the riparian would minimize pollution of water source by washing down of farm chemicals down the river.
Okay, let's be one, So
more than 3,000 trees, which will help in conserving our river. And as you know, when we have the forest coverage, it helps in protecting our river through soil erosions, which usually
prevent water or keeps our water clean. When those vegetation is there, it prevents the erosion which eventually does pollute our water.
Tafikisha 12.5% ambayo ni ile miti tunaweza sema in every county inaweza kusustain kuwa na environment, inaweza kuattract mvua, kumaliza ile tunasema kiangazi na mambo mengi yale ambayo yanaletwa kukiwa na uharibifu wa miti.
Ona watu wengi, watu human activity, tumelima karibu na mto, tumeingia mpaka ndani ya mto, so maji saa nyingine huko juu inakuwa chafu, manake hakuna kichungi ile ambayo inachunga maji, au hiyo maji inataka kama front.
In the world of sports, world marathon record holder Kelvin Kiptum is among 5 finalists for the 2023 Men's World Athlete of the Year award. Kiptum claimed the overall winner of this World Marathon major series after victories in London in April and in Chicago last month. It was in Chicago that Kiptum smashed the men's marathon world record when he ran 2 hours and 35 seconds, becoming the first man to run a marathon in under 2 hours and 1 minute. He will, however, face off with world 100 and 200 meter champion Noah Lyles of USA and world pole vault champion Mondo Duplantis of Sweden, world shot put champion Ryan Cruz of USA, the world javelin champion Neeraj Chopra of India. Now that concludes our bulletin tonight. Thank you so much for your company. I hope that you are well aware of what is happening across the country. And well, it is a wrap. Thank you for watching. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. See you around.